We're gonna go up to the gym and get this workout in. Let's go. Good morning, you guys. It's your girl Tashana, for those who are new to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing a week of workout video for you guys. Obviously, you can tell that by the title. Don't know why I had to say that, but anyways. So for the first day of my week of workout, I do a heavy glutes day. It is Monday. And we are going to do some C4 pre-workout. Woo! That feels good. That was good. Woo! All right. Let's go do this workout. All right, so let me show you guys what I did for my glute activation. As usual, I believe in glute activation. If you don't, then do you, but I definitely love activating my glutes before I start working out. Here, what I'm doing is I have a resistance band around my thighs, and I'm just doing crab walks, which I'm walking from side to side for about 10 reps. And one rep, just keep in mind, guys, is one side to the right, one side to the left. That's 10. Also, when you're doing this, you guys, it's super important to keep your butt low. You don't want to be like super low like you're doing a squat. That's not necessary. But if you want to do that, go ahead and activate your glutes more. But you also do not want to be standing up straight either, right? So after I go ahead and did that, I did some leg kickbacks standing up. Now, this is really good for my balance, but if you guys are someone who's like probably in a beginner level, or this is too hard to just balance yourself on one leg, definitely I advise you to hold on to something. So like hold on to a wall, hold on to a railing, anything at all. And I basically did 12 on the right side, and then I did 12 on the left side. So with this, you want to squeeze your glutes also as you kick back. And if you don't feel that glute contracting, a good thing to have that mind to muscle connection, what I like to do is I like to actually feel my glutes to make sure I'm actually getting that contraction in. As you can see, I'm doing here. I sped up everything because like I don't want you guys to see everything. It's kind of a long process. Then we went ahead and did some hip abductions on the floor. So this is just opening up the side glutes. I did about 20 reps with the bands. You also want to do it very slow and pause when you open your legs and control your legs as you bring right back. Super important, keep your feet flat to the ground and foot together. Well, feet together, not foot. I don't know what I'm saying here. So next we did some lateral leg raises with the resistance bands, and this is just going to keep targeting you guys your side glutes. Also, what you guys are seeing here is I'm balancing everything on one leg. But if you are a beginner and this is tricky, just like we did for the kickbacks, you can definitely hold on to something to balance yourself out. And I'm also holding on to my back and my core just to make sure that my back is flat and my core is engaged. So I did about 12 to 15 reps on each side for this glute activation warm-up. And then I went ahead and started my actual workout. So because today we're doing a heavy glutes day, as you guys know by now, I am going to start off with hip thrust, just because hip thrust exerts the most energy out of me, I feel. So I just like to get it over and done with in the beginning as I have the most amount of energy. So here I'm just warming up with 4 plates, as you guys can see. I'm aiming for about 8 to 10 reps, and I'm holding the weight at the top on the last rep. Then, guys, I went in to do the big 6 plates. Like, I am so geeked and excited that I'm able to do that. You know this is heavy shit when that bar bends. Like, if you're a heavy lifter, you know when that bar bends, it's some real stuff. So I was able to do about 3 to 4 reps with 6 plates, which I was very impressed with and happy with. And I did that for about 3 sets. As you guys can see, it definitely burned. So the next exercise that I did was actually a glute isolation exercise. And if you guys know by now, you know me, I love doing glute isolations, and I always emphasize the fact that if you want to grow your glutes, you have to do glute isolation exercises. And cable kickbacks is one of the best ones to do because you really just feel your lower gluteus maximus working the most here, which is going to give you that nice plump looking shape. So here I'm doing 12 reps with relatively heavy weights, and you want to make sure that your back is flat and you're not over kicking your leg. So what that means here is that like you're not going to kick your leg to the point where you arch your back, because that is going to cause lower back pain. You just want to kind of kick it up until you feel your glutes contract, and you want to still squeeze on top of it, if that makes any sense, okay? So what I like to tell you guys also, just feel your glutes as you're doing it so you can really feel exactly the muscles working and when to stop when it's contracting. Also keep that core engaged and aim for about 3 to 4 sets of these with about 12 to 15 reps, or 8 to 12 I should say, if you're going to do definitely a heavier load of weights. So the next glute exercise I did was another glute isolation, but this time instead of targeting the maximus, we're actually targeting the gluteus minimus and gluteus medius. I always have a hard time saying these words. I don't know. I really don't know. But so for this exercise, what you guys are doing with the lateral leg raises with the cables, there's no need to go ham and like max out and do super heavy weight. As you guys can see here, I'm like literally doing 15 pounds, but I'm doing high reps. So I aim for 15 to 20 reps per leg because it's such a small muscle. There's no need for you to max out and do super heavy weights. Like, trust me, doing lateral leg raises at 100 pounds is not really gonna make a big difference if you're doing that to 15 pounds. So just really focus on doing the proper movement. You want to control your leg as you bring it up and right back down. You want to make sure that your back is flat, your core is kept engaged, and even just doing 15 to 20 reps with low weights, you definitely should still feel that side glutes firing up. So the next exercise I did was a stiff leg deadlift, but I did unilateral. So basically I'm working one leg at a time. And as you guys can see, I kind of did a different variation where I actually have my leg elevated on a bench, kind of like you would do for a Bulgarian split squat, but I'm still doing the movement of a stiff leg deadlift. So as you guys can see, as I'm going down, I have my knees slightly bended and my hips are hinging back, pushing my butt back, so that my torso can go lower parallel to the ground, and really want to feel your hamstrings pulling, because this is definitely a really good exercise for your hamstrings as well as your like lower glutes in the gluteus maximus. I did about 12 reps on each side, and then I went ahead and did that for 3 sets. Also with this, because we are doing heavy, I decided to do a bit of a heavier load of the dumbbell. So I have like a 40-pound, I believe, in my hand. And for this, you guys should not be feeling this in your lower back. It should literally only be pulling on your hamstring. I wouldn't say pulling, but you should feel your muscles in your hamstring contracting, as well as your lower glutes in your gluteus maximus. So also super important for this exercise, you want to keep your back flat and you want to keep that core engaged. And you kind of want to like round your back a little bit as you guys come up, as you can see I'm doing at the top shoulder. So the last glute exercise that I did was some sumo squats with a heavy dumbbell. So I usually would do this sometimes with like a barbell, but I wanted to just incorporate a dumbbell just to kind of switch it up a little bit. But because it's a heavy glutes day, I definitely went heavy on the dumbbell. I think I'm doing like 50 pounds. And so with this exercise, you guys, it's super important. You want to have your feet beyond your shoulder width. You also want to have your feet pointing outwards, as you see I'm doing here. And as you go down, you kind of also want to like bend your back like towards the ground, keeping it parallel while also keeping it straight. So you don't want to like overly arch your back neither. You also want to brace your core and keep it engaged as you do this. And as you come up, you want to squeeze your glutes at the top. So I also decided like very last minute, this was not planned at all, just to add in a few ab exercises, because if you guys know me by now, you know I love doing like quick little ab exercises just to like tighten up my core. So here I'm doing some knee tucks, but I actually incorporated like a 10-pound dumbbell. And if you guys watched my previous video of things I wish I knew before working out in my fitness journey, I definitely mentioned that you do not need to use weights when doing abs. It's going to give you more of that boxy shape. But here I'm using it, which I rarely ever do. But I wanted to do it just to really test my strength and just like really, I don't know, like I just wanted to try it out and just see if I can do it. So I was aiming to do as many as possibly could, and I ended up doing about 10. But then I dropped the weight, as you guys can see, and I just kept going with the knee tucks. And this is really, really good, you guys, for your whole core. Like, this works every part of your abs. And so then I wanted to try something a bit different. I wanted to do an isometric exercise. So pretty much doing the same concept of the knee tuck, but instead just holding my knees up in the air with the dumbbell. I don't know why I chose to do with this. It was so much more harder. I thought I can do it for 30 seconds, but I was just struggling, you guys. Like, I kept checking the time to make sure time was like going up, but it just kept taking so long. It was just like one of those moments where you feel like time is going really slow. So I ended up just doing it for 20 seconds. But even at that, guys, I really felt the burn in this. Like, really felt the burn. Check those abs out though. Look at that. So for Tuesday, as usual, I'm doing upper body, but this time I'm doing like a back focused upper body, because just something about having like a really nice defined back that I find super sexy. I don't know. I'm just really aiming for that right now. So what I make sure I do is I target my back at least once a week. And so I start off by doing some single arm rows, but this I'm doing with like a balance and core incorporation as well. So I'm sure you guys probably seen this exercise all over Instagram. I don't know what it's called, because I saw this too on Instagram and I started doing it. And over with time, I'm able to do with heavier weights. So now I'm doing with a 20-pound dumbbell for 12 reps each arm, and I did it for 3 sets. But with this exercise, you guys, super important to keep that leg parallel to your head. So you're able to basically draw a line from your head all the way down to your foot. And you can just check yourself in the mirror as I'm doing here to just make sure that your foot is always aligned, your back is straight, you don't want to dip your back in, and you want to also keep that core engaged. Also, what I like to do here is I actually like to hook my foot. As you can see, my right foot is hooked at the end of the bench just to give myself that extra stability, because it is a bit hard with your balance in the beginning. So the next exercise I did for my back was some seated reverse flies. And this, I actually forgot about this exercise. Like, I don't know how it came to me to do this for this workout because it was not intended. But then afterwards, I was like, wait, I remember this. I don't know if you guys experienced that. But basically, I grabbed two 10-pound dumbbells, and you want to make sure you're sitting down, bending your back forward, but you want to keep your back straight as much as possible. And then you just want to like bring your arms up as though you're like a bird flapping its wings. And I did this for like 8 to 10 reps for 3 sets. The next back exercise I did was a unilateral exercise, and basically, for you guys that don't know, unilateral pretty much just means working one side of your body instead of both sides at the same time. So I was doing a single arm lat pull down, and here I just got that like single handle that you guys can have that connects to the cable machine, and I put a cushion on the floor so that my knees are not directly on the floor because that can definitely hurt. And you just want to pull it down and really feel the contraction in your lats as well as like the scapula, shoulder blade area of that muscle. Keep your back flat, but you want to have it bended forward. But even though it's bended forward, you don't want to have an arch, if that makes any sense, okay? And I did 12 reps at 50 pounds for each side. I really do recommend you guys to do the weight that you can lift. Like, if you're seeing that you're struggling lifting the weight, then you definitely have to drop the weight. It is way too heavy for you. You really do not want to compensate your form just to lift something. And also keep your neck relaxed. Don't have it too strained because you don't want to strain your neck. And then the last exercise I decided, well, not last, but second to last exercise I decided to do was some back extensions. Haven't done these in a while, and I went across this machine. I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this. So I went ahead and warmed up just to like get my form and the muscles moving and that muscle neuromuscular connection is what I'm trying to say going. So I did a warm up about 12 to 15 reps. And as you guys can see here, I'm really making sure that my back is flat and rounded and I'm not overextending my back as I come up. Then I went ahead and added some weight. So I got a kettlebell, heavy kettlebell. Don't remember how much weight it was, but it was heavy. And basically I am dropping the kettlebell to the ground and then I'm picking it right back up, making sure that I have the same rounded back and I'm not overextending my back because that's just going to do you more harm than good. And I did this exercise. I did about 12 reps for this for 3 sets. Okay, so the last exercise I did for back day was lat pull downs. So as you guys can see here, this is not a unilateral lat pull down like the other one was, because this one I'm actually using both of my arms to pull down the bar. So both the right and the left lats are being worked here. So I started off with 45 pounds, went up to 60, then went up to 75 pounds, and I aimed for like 10 to 12 reps for each set. And with this exercise, you want to make sure that you start in the retracted and depressed shoulder position. And as you bring the bar down, you want to lean back. And as you bring the bar up, you want to lean forward. So it's day 3 of my week of workouts. And today we are doing lower body day. I love leg day. I love leg day. Today is going to be more of a glutes and quad focus workout. Monday we did a bit more hammies, but not really. We did like one exercise. But anyways, we're going to do more quad focus. We're not really going to touch our hamstrings. And I have in mind to do a heavy lift. Like, I want to do heavy lifts. I want to obtain PRs today. We're going to obtain PRs today. So I want to hit a PR for deadlift. I want to hit a PR for squats. I want to do Bulgarian split squats. Don't know if I'm going to hit a PR for that. I also want to do hip thrusts because I do want to target my glutes, but we're not going to do heavy. So we're going to do higher reps, as you guys will see. I'm going to explain that all later on. Y'all, I'm low-key nervous. I'm nervous. But we're going to do that. I am going to take some pre-workout because there's no way I can choose to wake up to violence and destroy my legs and not take pre-workout. Not gonna happen. So we're gonna do it at the gym. Before we head out, I want to show you guys my outfit. I have this sweater from Fashion Nova. It was like 14 bucks, nothing crazy. I am wearing the Saint Line Apparel two-piece set in like a beige color. I'm gonna link everything below so you guys can pick this out. I should have made my bed this morning, but anyways, we're in a rush. Clearly actually not in a rush if I'm videotaping right now, but anyways, whatever. I'll make my bed when I come back. So enough talking. I'm gonna see you guys at the gym for lower body day. Y'all, I'm really nervous. I'm really freaking nervous. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys very quickly what I do for my static stretching for my lower body days. It's usually the same thing always over and over. So here I'm doing some very deep lateral lunges, and so what I do to get this deep, guys, I just open my legs as wide as possible. This definitely does help me, and I do about 10 of these. Then I go ahead and do some leg rotation. So this is really good for just like opening up the hips. I do about 10 on each leg for this exercise. And just like I mentioned earlier in this video, if you guys can't do these things standing on one leg, because it is very difficult with your balance, you can definitely just use like a wall to hold on to, or a railing, or just something to give yourself more balance. Then what I did was I did something for my hip flexors. So you want to go into a low squat position, and then you want to extend your legs out straight, keeping your knees straight while still holding onto your feet. If you can't hold your feet, definitely just hold your ankles and do the same movement. These are super good, especially if you're going to be hitting squats, you guys, because you're pretty much just like mimicking a squat position. And then the last dynamic stretch that I did, I'm not too sure what this is called, to be honest with you, but basically you're just like switching your knees from side to side while keeping your feet planted. And this is super good for like opening up your hips, especially for someone who has really tight hips and not a lot of mobility in your hips. So the very first exercise I did, of course, was a hip thrust, but not any hip thrust. I did like a B stance hip thrust just because I wanted to switch up the hip thrust variation since I did hip thrust on Monday. And obviously, as you guys can see, I am going super light. Like I did 50 pounds with the barbell, and I also added resistance bands so that I can give more of a resistance. But with the B stance hip thrust, for those of you who don't know, you're basically having one foot elevated on your heel and the other foot flat. So the foot that's elevated on the heel is going to be really working because you're going to be activating more of your glutes doing that. And I did 10 reps on each side. I'm just going to speed up the next side because you guys pretty much saw me do it more in a slow tempo. But guys, I was not going this fast. I wasn't. This is like sped up twice the time, okay? So once I finished doing the 10 reps of the B stance squat, hip thrust I should say, I went ahead and supersetted that with 20 hip abductors. This was a deadly superset. Like if you guys have ever done hip thrust with a superset of hip abductors, you know how much this burns, how much your ass is on fire. But it's just one of the supersets that I love doing the most. You want to make sure while you're doing these hip abductors though that you are controlling your legs. You don't want to like have the resistance bands pull your legs back in. You want to slowly and controllably bring your legs right back in. Make sure that you're breathing because that's super important, that your feet are flat and that your back is flat as well. Alright, so now we're going to get into some of the strong stuff. Like this is the serious stuff right now, this workout. Because as you can see, I got no shoes on, so I'm really trying to get grounded. That's when you know, okay? That's when you know when lifters have no shoes on. So here I'm doing barbell squats and I'm warming up with 90 pounds. And if you guys can like notice, the guy actually on the left was watching me and he was like, oh, you strong. And it really caught me off guard, but I really do appreciate, especially when like men compliment how strong I am, because I work hard. I work really hard at the gym. So I'm warming up here with 90 pounds. And I really don't recommend you guys to warm up with heavy weights unless you're trying to hit a PR. Like usually when I'm not trying to hit new PRs, I just warm up with the barbell itself. It's good enough. It just gets that like neuromuscular connection going and flowing. But here I decided to just warm up with 90 pounds, which is what I usually barbell squat with. And I'm making sure that I have the right form throughout. Then once I finish doing about 8 to 10 reps, I'm literally contemplating here, guys, if I should add extra weight. Like I was so nervous and scared. Then I just said, you know what, screw it, just do it. Just do it. So I added 20 pounds to this, making it, I think it's like what 130 now. And I was making sure that I had myself properly braced. You guys want to make sure that you're properly braced when lifting that barbell off of the rack. Super important. And as I'm going down, as you can see, I'm going really deep. Like I'm doing ass to grass type of squats, which is super hard. But you want to make sure when you're doing this, you're pushing through the heel of your foot. Your knees are not surpassing your toes because that's going to put too much pressure on your knees, and that's why your knees are going to hurt. And you also want to make sure that you're not leaning your torso too much forward. Even though you have that barbell like pushing down on you forward, you want to really like control it and kind of just push back against it, if that makes any sense. Then I went on and did a new PR. I added 20 pounds once again. So now we're at like 150, I think. Quick math, probably bad, but whatever. And I'm making sure that my form is good here, that my back is neutral, core is engaged, and I managed to do 2 reps, which I'm super happy and proud about. Definitely shouldn't have got a spotter. Make sure you guys do that when you're doing new PRs. Then I went ahead and did some deadlifts. When I tell you guys I was choosing violence and to destroy my legs, is exactly what I did. So I decided basically to deadlift the same weight that I was squatting, and this was a new PR for me. I am super excited for this. As you guys can see also, I reset every single time I drop the barbell. So I reset my shoulders back, chest up, and I pull up. My form can use a little bit more tweaking, but you know, your girl's happy. She hit 130, okay? And then I ended off this heavy glute exercise. I don't even know how I managed to do Bulgarian split squats at the end, but whatever. I did some Bulgarian split squats at the end, and because I want to target more of my glutes, I'm going to put you guys on a little trick for those of you who do not know probably, is you want to make sure you have a wider stance. So you want that foot to be further away from the bench. And you also want to lean your torso forward. You're going to feel the glutes contracting a lot more. So like your lower gluteus maximus, you should feel more. And if you want to target more of your thighs and you want to not lean forward, you want to have a straight up torso and you want to have a smaller stance in between your legs. Then after doing about 15 reps, I did like 10 with the weights. And once I was just like unbearable, I dropped the weights and kept going, which is something that you guys can definitely incorporate in your workouts when you're doing with heavy weights. Don't have to necessarily stop doing the exercise. You can still keep going. And once again, this trainer is just behind me like acting a fool. I had no idea he was doing this, you guys, until I started editing this video, but that's just how he is. Gotta love it. And as I continued doing it, I did about 10 reps, dropped the weight, and kept going because I knew I can still keep going. And I just pushed through. Like, I really was pushing myself this workout, but yo, guys, it was a burner. It's day 4 of my workout split. So today we're gonna try something a little different. I'm so excited. I'm actually really excited to try something different. I keep looking away from the camera. Let me look at the camera because I'm running short on time, you guys. I have literally like an hour to get this workout in, and I want to get my pre-workout done because it's going to be intense. So because it's Friday, I want to do Friday full body workouts, and I want to aim more for doing exercises that I haven't done before and just trying different things, trying new things. Because if you're like me and you've been working out for years, for me it's been like 5 years. No, I think people are coming to the gym. I want it to be alone. Oh no. So if you're like me, you've been working out for a couple years, your body's eventually going to get to like a plateau, right? And so this is obviously where you do progressive overload, but you also want to like stimulate more your muscles or stimulate different muscles. And so, or just push yourself in ways that you never pushed yourself before. And I was always someone who's just like lift, cardio what, you know? So today I really want to try to incorporate a bit more like cardio, high intensity, try different like jumps and things with my workouts that I seen on Instagram or that I thought of. Or sometimes I'm just in a gym and I'm like, okay, this would be a cool idea. So we're going to try to do that on Fridays. And then anytime I find an exercise that I try that I like, I'll then incorporate it into the other days of the week. So y'all might see a little trial and errors on Fridays, but you know, it is what it is, you know? You got to start somewhere. So we're going to take my pre-workout. I don't know why I have something like stuck in my throat today. Not cute. And I'm not sick either. I can't be sick again. We're going to do a dry scoop. We're going to do like half. We're not going to do the full thing. It's pretty much the full thing, but whatever. Cheers to a good workout, a good pump. We're going to have a good workout session. I already said that. But we're going to try new things. We're going to have fun. We're going to get the gains. And it's going to be lit. Cheers, guys. All right, so we're going to go up to the gym and get this workout in. Let's go. All right, so before we start this workout, I actually want to show you guys what I'm wearing. I have this cute little like sports bra from Urban Planet, which I think is really cute. It was like $5 for Black Friday. And then I'm finally wearing the Alphalete leggings. I'm wearing the amplified ones, guys. I love these. These are so freaking nice. Love it. All right, so to switch things up for the first time on Friday, I decided to do jump rope as a warm-up just because I've actually been seeing a lot of women on Instagram doing like skipping as a warm-up, and I found like it is a really good alternative for cardio because I hate doing cardio, but this was actually fun, aside from the fact that my sports bra kept falling down because it wasn't properly adjusted. That was my bad. But here I was just trying to play with different footwork, you know, different tempo, just to pick it up because I used to do this as a kid and I loved it, but it's gonna take a bit more practice, I feel, because I want to be able to do this for 5 minutes straight. But here I was like stopping, going for 5 minutes, trying to go on one foot, trying to go 1 foot at a time, but it was a lot of fun. Then what I did was I tried to do this new exercise that I saw on Instagram, but she did a different variation, so I just wanted to do something that was a bit more easier and attainable for me, but still challenging. So with the soft box, I basically went into a low squat, then I jumped up onto both soft boxes and I went into a push-up. Now, ideally in the future, I would love to do like the squat and then jump straight into the push-up without like having my hands land first and then my feet, because that's more of an easier way. But you know, practice makes perfect. This was still challenging nonetheless. Highly recommend you guys to give it a try. I did 8 reps. One thing I would change is I would actually attach the green box to the black box because it kept sliding. So this next exercise that I did was a bent over row, but it was like an individual single arm bent over rows with a kettlebell while alternating the kettlebell. So it's pretty much, that's not the name of the exercise, but pretty much that's exactly what you're doing here. And you can definitely go heavier with the kettlebell if you want to. I aimed for about 12 to 15 reps, and 1 rep as usual is right then left. But what was pretty cool about this is the fact that you're just alternating from hand to hand, and I really like that because it just had like, it just increased the intensity of a single arm row. And when I first did this before, I actually broke a nail. So I wanted to just go a bit slower, get the momentum, and with practice, I want to be able to do this a lot more quicker, switching from hand to hand. And then I went ahead and did a kettlebell swing into a lunge. So as you guys can see, I'm swinging the kettlebell with one hand, and as I swing it up forward, I'm actually lunging back with my leg. I did about 12 reps on each leg for 3 sets. And also one thing I forgot to mention, you guys, for the lunge as you lunge back, super important for that knee to not touch the ground, okay? So I definitely, as I'm watching this, could have had that back knee a bit more like in a 90-degree angle, which is what I would want, rather than like, I don't know, this is like a 45-degree angle, I think. But you know, it's my first time doing this exercise. I also have my hand out for that balance, and it's just an overall really good full body exercise. Like, I definitely would incorporate this in the future for other exercises because it was a burner and it was very exhausting. So also, excuse me for this terrible lighting. The sun was setting and there was nowhere else for me to go in the gym. And so I had to try this like stability ball knee tuck because I haven't done this in a hot minute. And I wanted to give it a try again. It's definitely a really challenging but good ab exercise. I really do like it because it literally has your whole core working. I aimed for 8 to 10 reps and I did 3 sets of these. And this is definitely something I will incorporate into my ab circuit routine that I do with like strictly just a stability ball. And to end it off, as you guys already know, I'm trying to hit 5 unassisted chin-ups by the end of this year. So here I'm doing 2.5, we can call it, because I don't know if that even counts as 1. But I wasn't doing the full range of motion, unfortunately. But I was proud with my progress nonetheless. Like, I wasn't able to do 1 a couple weeks ago. And then I went ahead and added a band to do assisted pull-ups because that's what's been helping me tremendously. If you guys been following me on Instagram, then you guys already know. You know how hard I've been working with these pull-ups. So I here was doing 10 reps for 3 sets with a band. And can you guys just look at those back gains? Like, you see what I mean by what a sexy back looks like? So beautiful. So yeah, this is the end of my week of workout video. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll catch you next time.